Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals for the Village of Tuckahoe for the month of May 2021. Nancy, if you would please take the attendance.
Member Jackman.
Present.
Yes. Member Scalzo.
Absent.
Member Palladino.
Present.
Member Garrity.
No longer with us.
Okay. Member Fiore.
Present.
Member Martino.
I don't see him. Absent.
And Chairman Ringwald.
Present.
Don't forget the new one. Got the new
We
one.
have our new one, Christina Brown.
Present.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, before I begin, I would just like to let the public know if there's anybody here for the, excuse me, 377 Marbledale Road. The applicant is asked to adjourn and they will be here next month. So please, we apologize that if you did not get this notice, they canceled this morning. They have the right to do that, and they will be here the second Tuesday of next, Wednesday, sorry, the second Wednesday of next month. But I would keep checking the website up to the last minute to make sure that they don't adjourn again. But they will not be here this evening. Again, that's 377 Marbledale Road is adjourned for the evening, and they will not be presenting tonight. Okay?
Bye-bye.
All right, before we begin, I'd like to say a couple of words. I would like to take a moment to thank our former member, Chris Garrity, for his years of service on the zoning board. Chris made the choice of asking not to be reappointed for another term. I'm sure that he has plenty to do in his life, and I'd like to wish him well in his future endeavors. And with that, he left an open position. So I'd like to welcome our newest member, Christina Brown. Christina Brown once served as a president of a condominium board, and she's currently a partner at a real estate law firm. So she comes to us with extensive experience in all aspects of commercial real estate litigation. So I am very excited and would like to welcome Tina to our board.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Tina.
Welcome.
I also want to thank our village board, specifically Trustee Howe, for involving me and the chairman of the planning board in the vetting and interview process. So we were able to select new members for both the zoning board and the planning board. So I thank them for that. Now to the agenda items. First and foremost, approval of the minutes of the March 10th, 2021 meeting. Anybody have any issues with the minutes as written?
No.
If not, do we have a motion to approve the minutes for the March 10th meeting, 2021?
Make a motion.
For the second, somebody want a second? this?
Second.
Mm.
Second.
Nancy
Jackman?
Cole- Nancy
Jackman,
Cole,
okay.
board, please.
Yes, Member Jackman.
Approved.
Member Palladino.
Approved.
Member Fiore.
Approve.
Member Brown, I guess you'll abstain, right? You weren't here.
Right.
And then Chairman Ringwald.
Approve.
Got it.
Okay, again, I will repeat, just in case somebody jumped on, 377 Marbledale Road is adjourned for the evening. They will not be here tonight. So if anybody in the audience is here for that application or applicant, they are not in front of us this evening. They will be in front of us next month. That moves us to 86 Main Street, which will be a new business, a Pilates studio. They're seeking a special permit. Is the applicant present? If so, please state your name for the record.
Heidi Tejeda.
Thank you. So what is it that you would like to put in 86 Main Street, please?
So I have a small Pilates studio that will be specializing on privates. And hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to about 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturdays 8 to 1. Sundays it will be closed. I've had a studio in Eastchester for the last 10 years and I'm downsizing that. So, yes.
Okay, very good. Any questions from members of the board?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, your hours are going to be Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday, 8 to 1, and Sunday closed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. My only concern, which we've raised with some other folks who've done similar lines, is that, I don't want you restrained by is that going to be on her application, Bill? Or is that just, when we give her this approval, she's allowed to have her operating hours based on the village's ordinances?
As a business, she can operate as per the village ordinances.
Okay, so she's not limiting herself to that 8 to 5, 8 to 1.
Okay.
Right, Bill?
No, she's limiting herself. We're not.
Right. I'm trying to say, even though she's saying that on this, once we approve her, she can operate, whatever hours are okay with the village. She doesn't have to stick with that if she
That's
says that.
correct.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
correct.
No, I
Nathan.
I just want to make sure you weren't locking yourself into those hours in case you
Thank
wanted
you.
to change up later and go a little later,
Sure.
or, go a little later on Saturday. I wanted to make sure you weren't locking yourself.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate that. I was just given some hours for
Okay.
a general idea of how I'm gonna run my business. Thank you.
And I think you already said it's kind of small group training, like 1 or 2 students at a time, correct?
Correct. So it's mostly privates, and once a day, I run classes of anything between 2 to 4. We have
Okay.
these machines called the reformers. Some people might know about them. And so I have 4 of those. So my classes will be anything between 2 and 4, but mostly privates.
Okay. And what was the ask on, is there any ask on parking for this bill, or is she just sticking with the 2?
No, she's
So-
providing one for herself and then be using the on-street parking like the previous tenants.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's correct. And she was before the planning board on a planning board work session, and they confirmed that that's what she should be having.
Okay. It
Do you have
sounds
any-
awesome.
Do you have any intentions of expanding in the future?
No, I've expanded, and this is my coming down from expansion to a more low-key life
Good.
after the pandemic. And having a teenager at home, I feel like I have another business at home that I'm running, so.
I know
run business.
that pain.
I got one. Is there going to be any like outdoor training at all?
Nope,
Like maybe
nope, we
running
do
or
everything
anything like that?
inside.
Okay.
That's it
I
for
have
me.
a question though, about, Gary, you said something about the special permits being issued, certain times a year. Can you expand on that?
No, I don't think I said that. It could be issued anytime.
Okay. So it could be issued now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you have to go through the public hearing, which would be carried till next month, but they can issue it next month.
Okay.
Gary, I think her question more relates to the time limit for how long is the special permit good for?
It's like forever, right? It stays with the store.
On this, it's forever. As long as you own it, it goes with you. And your business, if you sell your business to someone else, they would have to come back for a special permit, but as long as you're there, it stays with you.
Thank you. Okay.
yeah, and that's a good question, Heidi.
Yeah.
We could say, for example, put a condition on this, that if you were to expand and say go to 4 or 5 or 6 instructors and have 25 people in there, that you would have to come back to us for another approval of the special permit. We could do something like that, but otherwise, if everything would stay the same, this would be indefinite as long as you stay there. When you move, it goes, as they pointed out, it would go with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So I didn't have any other concerns unless someone else from the board does.
No, that was it.
No, I don't think that if we, would grant, the whole thing with special permits is, if we grant it, will it have a negative impact on the area? And I don't see where it would. That's my opinion. I'm one vote like everybody else. Okay, any other questions from the board?
Nope.
Heidi, you have any questions of us?
No, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing for 86 Main Street. Do I have a
Seconded.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who would like to ask questions or have anything to say regarding a special use permit for 86 Main Street?
Leave it this way. May I add something? My name, can you hear me?
Yes?
Yeah.
Just as a point of matter here, they sent the notice to the neighboring property.
Sorry, you have to introduce
Yeah.
yourself, please.
I'm
So
sorry,
your name and address.
my name is John Brusco, from Main Street, and the notice that was given to the property owners said notice is given to Court of Appeals to appear at the Village of Tuckahoe at 7:30. There was no notice about a Zoom meeting, and there were a couple of people here, a nice police officer let us in, but they, we did what was told by our, we were sent to certified mail, and we did what was instructed on the certified mailing. So I have no objection to anything that was said. I wish the woman luck, but just as a matter of notice, it really wasn't done right. But that's up to you gentlemen to decide. So, but I wanted to just give you that information. And I could,
Appreciate
maybe
that.
maybe I could put the video on and you could see what I'm looking at, what they sent to the property owners. And I just thought it would be a fair thing to allow people to know that this was on Zoom. So, yeah.
Exactly.
And so that this way they could have an opportunity to object or give blessing.
Gary, do we have a idea why that wasn't made clear?
I'm not sure. I know, Mary Ann, there is a letter that does get sent out that does say Zoom, so this might be an older letter, so I'm not sure why. Why this
That
one went
seems,
out.
that seems rather frustrating.
Yeah. And I know, we're gonna obviously keep it open, so we'll give anyone who was down there who wants to speak, obviously the opportunity to speak next month. And yeah, it's unfortunate that went out, sending people down to Village Hall tonight. With COVID and stuff, we don't know where we're gonna be next month. It might be Zoom or it might be live. Governor comes out with basically his order at the beginning of the month, so we just have to keep watching and keep watching the website.
I just wanted to give you that information. I want to thank you gentlemen for being there and for doing what you do, because it's a thankless job. So I just want to say thank you.
No, thanks for
Well-
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public would like to comment regarding 86 Main Street?
It's Carolina. I would like to give Heidi a reminder. Hi, Heidi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
One thing you should keep in mind, not to delay the process. One of the boards you should also start to think about is our sign and awning board. I'm sure you're gonna start planning your signage on your front facade, right?
Yes,
So that's the same thing. We meet once a month. If you need any help, contact us in the building department. We'll walk you through it, okay?
okay, so I also wanted to apologize to the person because I sent those letters out and that's what it was given to me. And then later on, because this is month to month with COVID, we don't know when we're gonna have Zoom or maybe in person. I put a sign, the sign that was given to me, I put Luke on the website for the link, because I didn't have a link, so.
It doesn't sound like your issue, Heidi. I think it was something on our end that you were given the wrong notice, is my guess. So I don't think that was you.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else from the public have anything to say regarding 86 Main Street? All right, seeing none, I'm going to make a motion to leave the public hearing open.
Second.
I'm sorry, I thought I heard somebody speaking. Thank you. So Member Jackman seconded it. Thank you. So the public hearing will stay open until next month. Heidi, as we explained, you'll come back at our next meeting. We'll open this up again. See if anyone else from the public has anything they need to say. And then we should be able to make a decision at that time.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Next item, number 6, next item is 11 Henry Street, construct a pool deck. The applicant's here. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Allison Koutsas, 11 Henry Street.
Want to see Ally?
Was that somebody
Hello.
else?
Hey, you.
All right, good. They're muted now. So Ally, can you explain to us what you are doing and why you're in front of the zoning board, please?
I'm going to defer to Stephen.
Oh,
Hi
Stephen.
guys, I'm Steven. I'm the architect on the project. Ally is my client. So last summer we installed the pool, and this summer we're expanding on the pool and we're trying to build a deck. The code currently says, Tuckahoe zoning code currently says that the pool deck can only be a quarter of the area that the pool takes up, which left us about 70 square feet of a deck, which is not that large. So we're requesting a variance to build a deck larger than the posted, than the allotted square footage. Should I pull the plans up on the screen or?
That would be great.
Just to
Okay.
clarify, Stephen, this is not exactly a pool deck, correct? This is more of a backyard deck that happens to abut a pool, correct?
Correct. This is more of an outdoor space, and an entertainment space. It does abut the side of the pool, but once I pull the drawings up, thank you, Nate, I think it'll be a little more clear. Do I still have the ability to share my screen? I do. Hang on 1 second. Here we go.
Bill Williams, though, correct me if I'm wrong. Once it's up against the pool, it's officially a pool deck, correct?
That's correct.
Correct. That's why we need the variance.
Right.
So I'll go to the first page. So would you guys like me to just walk you through just the entire project, I guess? Or I'm not
Yeah.
sure like the format for this. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
So starting here, this is just a site plan. This is 11 Henry Street. This is Henry Street over here. And Pulling Street runs along here. The pool, like we've mentioned, is already in place. This is over here. And this is the proposed footprint of the new deck. This is our driveway, existing garage, and existing house. And this is the yard. So if you could just imagine no deck being there right now, there's no, and I'll post some photographs as well. There's really no outdoor patio entertaining space. Right now, she currently has a staircase that goes into the house with a landing. That's about it.
Hey, what's up?
Is that a above ground or in ground pool, please?
That is an
Yeah.
above ground pool.
I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting.
Sorry, Mr. Barker, could you mute, please? Thank you.
So this is the site plan, and I'm moving on to and this is the zoning requirements where it tells you the max deck size that we're allowed to have because of what's the pool. We're proposing 330 square foot deck, and we do require a variance. Sorry, my computer is going a little slow. Sorry, trying to see. So this is the proposed deck plan. It has two staircases, one coming off the driveway. So when you park your car, if you have your groceries, you can just walk up the stairs. Both decks, both staircases have a gate at the top with a child lock. I know Nate had brought up concerns before about that. So we do have a child lock on each gate. There's an alarm going to be on the front door as well too. So when the door opens, an alarm will sound so you'll know when somebody is going in and out. The deck is going to be above ground, connected to the front. That's not your front door, Allie, right? That's your back door, technically.
That's correct. It's my back door.
Okay. Okay. So it's the back door. Oh, okay. So it's not the front door. So it'll be a back door, out the back door, the seating area over here. It's a Trex deck above ground, and I have an elevation that shows the approximate height. Because the backyard is on a slope, the highest point is 4'4", and you could see it. Oh, I'll pull up a photograph afterwards. The highest point is 4'4". This side of the deck is all open to the pool, and the rest has a railing, I believe it was 42 inches high along the perimeter. Concrete landing at each of the staircase, and that's pretty much it. That's the project in itself. Moving on to the next, that's the floor plan, sorry, of the project. Footings, we're gonna have to do, concrete footings 42 inches below grade for each post to support the deck. We have one central ridge beam with everything tying into it. We're going to round the edge of the deck to kind of fit the radius of the pool, the curve of the pool, to give it like a nice clean appearance. And then moving down, these are just the details of the footing. So it's going to be a 6x6 Trex post onto a, a 12-inch diameter footing, 42 inches below grade. And then the post will connect the metal anchor clips to the footings. This is a detail of the gate. The gate is a little bit, the gate post is 4'6", and the gate itself is 4 feet tall. This is the ledger beam, how the ledger beam of the deck over here is going to connect to the house. We'll have to remove a little bit of the siding.
But I don't know if we
That
need
doesn't
that
really
detail,
pertain to you
but
guys. No, but we were right here, so I was just going to explain
Yeah.
what we were staring at. And then these are the sections cutting through the deck. They're noted on the actual plan over here, so you can see where they're cut through, A, B, and C, sliced horizontally over here. So the first one, A, just cuts through the staircase, and you can just see just a standard wood frame staircase, Trex posts, Trex railing. Moving on to section B, that's the section over here, cutting across, basically we call it like the meat of the deck. That's the second
that's
gate.
the high
and then
point of the deck.
Correct, yeah.
Mm.
And then this is the section 3, section over here through the back where you come down through the back staircase.
So on that section A, that's the part near to the front of the property, correct?
Closest to the driveway, correct.
I'm sorry, section C. Section C is closest to the front of the
Oh,
house,
section-
correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so on that section, is there going to be some sort of, I think there's going to be some sort of extended fence to the pool? Because it feels like it's a very low access to the pool at that point. Right?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
It's okay. We can talk about that. I don't think that's something we're dealing with right now. So that's all right.
Okay.
Ignore that
Sorry, I just
question.
don't understand the question. Okay.
So I have a question, as far as the deck is on your drawing to the left side of the pool. So there's nothing on the, what I'll call the top of the pool or the bottom of the pool or the right side of the pool, correct?
On the
Or
right side of the pool
where
over
you
here,
are
there
now,
are
right.
plantings. They're just some plantings. And then it's
Right.
5 feet to the property line and there are plantings. You can see over here is the property line. So in this area here, there are plantings. There's
Right.
nothing over here.
Right.
It's clear space, so you can walk through from the driveway. You can walk behind the staircase.
So you can walk all the way around. Okay.
You can walk all the way around to the front.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, with the side. I apologize.
Hey, Steve, I got a question for you. Where's the pool equipment going?
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, good question. Where's the pump and everything?
The pump is next to the garage on the left-hand side of the, if you're looking at it, it's on the left-hand side of the pool. It's already there.
Over here?
Yes.
How much space between the pool and the garage?
There's
I
5
believe
feet,
it was 5 feet.
right? I think it was either 5 feet or 5'6".
So, Bill or Mike, if the pump sits there, does that take away from the 5-foot buffer or?
If what sits there, Tom?
The pool equipment, the pump.
No, it doesn't.
All right, thank you.
Hmm.
So
Is
you
there
have
a-
you have enough
is there a-
space around the pool? I mean, you're within your rights, you're within your 5 feet to your neighbor's property line. You're not towering over anybody. All right, I'm kind of thinking out loud as I ask the question.
Is there a deck there now or just open?
There's just
It's completely open right now. There's,
It'll be
there's
open
just a
now?
pool
Okay.
by itself. Yeah, there's no deck. You just walk climb up the ladder to get into the pool.
All right.
Do you guys have any other questions or want to see anything specific on the drawing?
No, I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry
No,
from what I can
no.
see. It's
Do you have a street view of this by any chance? Street level view?
From
a rendering.
Henry or
A
from
rendering,
Cole?
yeah, a
No,
rendering of how it would look from the street.
no, I don't have one. I don't think you can really even, maybe from like this section over here by the driveway, you can kind of catch a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
I don't recall off of Henry Street. Nate, were you able to see it off? You probably can see it off of Henry Street.
One point of clarity, Tom, she has 6-foot hedges all the way around the property.
No, I'm aware. I took a look at it and I agree. And the topography is level, so, you know, I'm comfortable with it, but I'd like, you know, to be able to show the public that it's not one of these decks that say up on a hill towering over the neighbors, that kind of thing. That
I mean,
was
it's a,
trying to make.
okay. No, I don't have any other questions.
Good. I would like to make a note that we received a number of letters in support of this. And as a board, we're allowed to consider the letters. What we're not allowed to do is to base our decisions solely on the input of the locals. So we can consider it, but we can't use that as our sole determination of approval or denial. But you did get a number of people that are supporting this, that are all living around you, which is good for you. I have no further questions. Anybody on the board have any questions?
No, I'm good.
No. Pretty cut and dry.
Okay, Ally or Mr. Leo, Stephen, do you have any questions? I can't. Leo, I can't.
No questions at this time.
I have none either.
All right.
I've raised my hand.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to the public yet, sorry. Okay, so no other questions from the board or from the applicant. So at this point, I would like to make a motion to open the public hearing.
Seconded.
Have a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now, anyone from the public who would like to make any comments regarding the construction of a pool deck at 11 Henry Street, please state your name for the record and proceed. Margaret's iPad?
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Margaret Eller and my husband Peter is here. We live at 9 Henry Street, right next door.
Okay.
All right. We're concerned because this is rather close to our property. It's also rather large, and we feel that because the village also considers it to be too large, that we're concerned about it, and we're concerned about the level of noise. And as the gentleman who designed it just said, it's going to be an entertainment center, and that's what we're concerned about, noise level and lots of kids, you know, coming and going and, you know, making a lot of noise, and safety. There's no fencing around it, so will the gates be enough? The lock gates, or if they're not, remained locked?
There's fencing around the pool. It's 42 inches high, and the gates are just your standard pool gates. They're child lock gates. There's no like padlock or combination or key or anything. It's just like your typical pool lock, pool gate lock.
So there, when you say there's fencing around it, there's nothing there now. So you're going to be adding fencing around the top of the pool, the rim of it, or?
So once we build the deck, the fencing will be on top of the deck. I'll draw like actually, let me share my screen again.
Oh, it goes around the deck. Mhm.
Correct. Yeah. So you won't be, unless you're physically on the deck, there's no way to get into the pool unless you can jump really high.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I can post. Let me share my screen again. I'll show you what I'm referring to. So it's on, and I don't think the plans are available to the public. I don't think you guys could see them. So, so this is basically what I'm referring to here. This box here is basically the existing pool. This represents the existing pool. That's the height of it, and the new deck will come up to be the flush to the same height, and then the fence and the gate are above it.
And I'm just, not to speak for you, Mark, I think she was just asking about the actual pool itself that it's connecting to, that there's not currently a fence. She's asking if it's required to have, you know, something around the top of the, you know, to keep kids from the pool itself on the other side.
No,
that might be,
Or anybody.
that's a question for Bill, I believe. Yes, the pool, if it's 48 inches or higher, does not require a fence around it.
Okay.
Since it's above ground? Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And Margaret, I would say, my thought is, I understand what you're saying there about the large deck. You know, as a thought exercise, if they just didn't connect the last foot to the pool, right? And just
Mhm.
called it a deck and didn't
Mhm.
actually connect that last foot, she'd be well within her rights. It's a perfectly acceptable size, for a deck in the village. It's just the issue of just connecting that to the pool. So I think, as you noted, I think it's definitely more of a safety concern, which was what we brought up with the gates.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Margaret Eller's husband. Peter Eller, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If the pool needed a variance in order to get built, and it doesn't,
The pool didn't require a variance to be built.
Not the pool, the deck. He means the deck.
I mean,
Oh, okay, sorry.
okay, the deck. If that needed a variance and the building inspector felt it was too large, which we feel is too large. I mean, our neighbor, Michael O'Toole, has a pool. He has a step ladder, and that seems to be sufficient. So why do you need a huge deck? And when we sell this house, will the people going to buy the house consider this pool?
A problem. We're concerned because it is so big and it's really,
It is large.
for entertainment, and any owners in the future of this house, if we try to sell it and, we're not going to live here forever, I think they're going to see that as a problem for them. But
We're against it. I mean, it's too
I
large.
think it's too large, and I agree with the village, but
But to Nate's point, if it didn't connect to the pool, it technically isn't.
It's connected to the house. It's that large.
it's very big. Well, that's
Okay.
our opinion.
And since
Oh,
we're,
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
always value opinions. Thank you.
well, I hope it means something.
Absolutely.
It does. I mean, I think, like I said, maybe my point isn't, if the pool wasn't there, they could build this deck, right?
Uh-huh.
It's allowed by village code for them to build a regular
Yeah.
deck. So they could
Well, I
build it
think they would
exactly.
need a variance.
But the pool is there, and, the kids are in it a lot, and I understand that kids make noise. I just think that with the deck as large as it is, it's going to be worse.
And Michael O'Toole has a pool. It's further away from everybody's property, and he has a step ladder to get in, and it's suited
Yeah.
him for years. So why do they need a deck?
Well,
Different people have different needs. I think that's the only thing I can comment on.
uh-huh.
Well, I don't,
Okay.
I need more money.
All right. Well, all right.
I can relate.
Okay.
I'm against
Well,
it.
we're against it because we agree with the village that it's too big.
So noted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
As a reminder, you need to address comments to the board and not to anyone raising their concerns
I
or
was.
to the architect. No, I was actually referring to Mr. Leo.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Anyone else from the public who would like to comment regarding the request to put a deck on 11 Henry Street? All right, seeing none, I'm going to make a motion to leave the public hearing open until our next meeting. Do I have a
Seconded.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. So Margaret and any other people from the public, you're welcome by all means to come back next month. We will continue this discussion and hopefully
Okay.
come up with a decision one way or the other, but we do appreciate your input and feedback. So,
Okay.
Excuse me, Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead, Quentin.
yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry. I tried to unmute there. I'd like to just comment in support.
All right, thank you. Just state your name and address for the record first, please.
Live next door.
Yes, Quentin Baker, 43 Fulling Avenue.
Okay,
And I've lived in the neighborhood for this house for like 28 years. And I walk by that house and drive by every day. And I don't even see the pool, to be honest with you. And I don't think a deck would in any way be a bad thing. And I think it would be a plus for the house and the neighborhood. And I just like to say that.
Well, we appreciate your input.
Okay.
Of course.
May I say something else again? This is Peter Eller.
Sure.
It's fine that all these people who live in the neighborhood find the deck attractive. They don't live next door to it. I mean, they're probably friends. And I don't see how their input has anything to do with it. We're the people that live and who will look at it and see it. It's a big difference. I could live 2 blocks away and love it.
Everyone in the public is allowed to have an equal say in
Of
any of
course,
these
of
meetings.
course they are. Of course they are. But in reality, they're not living next to it. And that's the fact of life, whatever. It's the fact of the matter.
Board, may I address the board?
Yes,
Sure.
that's the
Thank
board.
you. I actually have arborvitae bushes that are probably a good 12 or 15 feet tall at
Mhm.
this point that block the view of the pool from 9 Henry Street. And so I don't think they have a deck that goes outside of their back of their house on 9 Henry. And you actually can't see the pool from their backyard. So I'm not sure. And I know that we have neighbors at 12 Henry who look directly across the street and they are in support of it. And they will be the ones with the actual straight view of it. And I just wanted to address the board in that way and just offer that to you guys as well.
Thank you.
And
Peter Eller again.
excuse me. And my children are very respectful. I think that people within the neighborhood would also agree to that. I have very, very good children. They're very well behaved and they are well liked. And yes, they make noise as children do. And I think listening to children make noise outside of your house is one of the best noises that you can hear in a neighborhood.
Okay.
It means that people are happy living in the neighborhood. And when I was looking for my home 13 years ago, that was one of the things that I actually looked for was neighborhoods that were welcoming to other families. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public who has any comments? Please.
It's Peter Eller.
Yeah,
Just one thing.
There's one with a hand up, but you can't hear it up. Mute.
All right.
Can't say anything else.
Margaret, please mute yourself, Margaret, and let Susan speak.
I wasn't saying
There you go.
anything. I'm sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
There you go. Now
Yes, this is Susan Warner. So I'm at 12 Henry Street, and we do have a view of Allie's pool, and we are totally in support of it. I understand again what the concerns are, but on the other hand, I actually think this is going to be an asset to the neighborhood. We do have a lot of kids in the neighborhood, and they enjoy each other's company. You know, during the day, they have fun, and you can hear them having fun, but it is not an inordinate amount of noise. And I think it adds to the feeling of the wonderful community that we have here in Tuckahoe, which is why people want to move here. I do feel that any house that goes for sale, you know, you get better than your asking price because people want to come into this kind of situation. So I just want to say for the record, you know, we did write the letter of support for Allie and just wanted to come on
You already
personally
said it.
and support it as well.
Thank you, Susan. Anyone else from the public? Okay, I just want to remind everyone that the public hearing is still open and it will stay open until our next meeting next month. All right, thank you all for your input. Moving on to our final item, which is 65 Main Street, new daycare center. Is the applicant present? Please state your name for the record.
Marion Anderson from Cornerstone Children's Center.
Welcome. So
Thank
give
you.
us a brief overview, please, of why you're seeking a special permit.
Okay, so we would like to reopen the center that was previously operated by Andrus Early Learning Center. I currently operate a center in Scarsdale, approximately the same size. We do not anticipate making any changes to the structure of the classrooms or the center. It would be utilizing 4 classrooms on the first floor of the building, and the rest of the space that would be used would be on the third floor for a total of 9 classrooms. The center was previously licensed for 111 children, and that was licensed through New York State Office for Children and Family Services. The ages that were served were infants through 5 years old. So we really have no plans to change the general operations of the previous center that was there. They did have a special permit, but that permit goes with them. So we need to ask you to issue and grant a permit for us to reopen the same facility in that location.
Okay, very good. Does any board members have any questions?
Just to check, there's the, excuse me, that space in the basement, was that also used by Andrews previously? There was kind of a classroom or something down there in the basement on that side, right?
Yes, that was being used by Andrews also.
But that's not going to be used by the new center. It's just going to be the second and third floors, or first and
third.
Okay. So part of the space is kind of going back to the village. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so you do anticipate fewer students, but other than that,
Other than
things
that,
remain
no
unchanged.
changes. Yeah, it remains unchanged, and we'll seek a license from the state for 111 students that they had there before.
Okay. One point that I'm not sure if you were in the session when one of our inspectors, Mike, raised the point that Mike, do you know if it's in the approvals where that thing about someone being outside when the children were being dropped off?
Yeah, it was in there. It was in their approvals.
Okay.
Nice.
So what he's referring to is just that I believe Andrew said a requirement that someone be outside, given that it's sharing a lot with the police department and emergency services, that we require previously that someone be outside to escort children from the bus into the building in a safe manner. And I assume that's still something you're amenable to.
Yeah, currently at my center in Scarsdale, everyone is met outside by staff, just simply due to COVID, and it actually makes it simpler. So,
okay, thank you.
Not an issue.
I apologize for eating during this, everybody. It's the end of Ramadan. I have a day of fasting, so I have to I have to get something in me here.
So Mary, if you could please just explain to us how the children will be where, because physically, will they be dropped off and picked up? Will it be on Main Street? Will it be on Underhill Street? Just walk us through that.
So
please.
the drop off is on Underhill.
Okay. And just
So
for the
that's-
public's edification, on Underhill, there is a cutout for people to pull in. They could fit, I don't know, 2 or 3 cars maybe. They'd have a 15-minute time limit, correct? So they're not
Right.
blocking, they're not blocking the road in case the fire truck has to come down or something.
Absolutely. And there is a window of time that the children would be dropped off. So it would be from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So not all of those cars would come in like the public schools at one time. So they've got a 2-hour window.
Okay. How many, if you said it, I apologize. How many staff members do you have there? Roughly?
Ultimately, at full capacity, 25, but it's going to take a couple of years to get to full capacity.
Where do you think you'll start? Half of that or?
I got to tell you, my center in Scarsdale, I started with 1 child. And we went up to 104. So it took several years, but I do expect that we will I have a wait list in Scarsdale that we would bring over to the Tuckahoe site. So I would say probably about 20 children.
No, I'm sorry, staff members. How many staff members?
Staff members, if we have 20 children, probably 5 to 6.
All right.
It would depend. It would depend really on the enrollment, the ages of the children, and what we need to do ratio-wise to meet that. But I would probably say 5 or 6 staff just to start.
All right. So, parking is an issue, but I understand that our planning board will be handling the parking. But just for my own edification, do you already have some parking spots available?
We're going to speak with the planning board and try to come up with a plan for that. So, that's a discussion to come,
Very good.
but we're more than amenable to having the discussion and trying to figure it out.
Very
We
good.
will figure it out. And, you know, honestly, my experience with my staff in Scarsdale, quite a lot of them are public transportation people.
Good.
I got one question.
Yes.
Are you guys required to like do fire drills or lockdown
Yes.
drills or anything like you do
Yes.
like regular
Yes.
school? Okay.
Yeah. So once a month fire drills and twice a year lockdown
Yeah.
drills.
Okay. Yeah. Same with our schools too.
Yeah.
Sad. I'm sorry. So anyone else have any questions? Marion, you have any questions of us?
No, I'm just anxious to get going and, you know, waiting until next month when we can hopefully have our final approval and move forward to the licensing process with the state of New York.
Great. I think it would be fantastic if we could get you to move in there, but yeah. As you know, as we discussed in the work session, that we will open and leave the public hearing open until next month, at which time hopefully we'll be able to close it and then make a decision at that time.
Okay.
I have
And
no
with,
further questions. Anybody else?
No.
okay.
I have a comment to Marion. Hi, Marion.
Hi.
It's the same comment we had to Heidi about the sign and
Hi.
on board, so it doesn't delay you. The sooner you start that going, the better.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Nice dogs around.
Oh,
So when they were there before you started.
my dog, yeah,
Very
my puppy.
I was hoping they could come back once you start talking, but I didn't
She
see
was
them
chewing
again.
on my hand, so had to shoo her away.
Yeah. All righty. That was it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
65 Main Street. Do we have a second? I think I heard a couple of seconds in there. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment regarding a special permit for 65 Main Street to open a new daycare center? Please speak now. Okay, seeing none, I'll make a motion to leave the public hearing open. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any additional business? Seeing none, I'm going to make a motion to close the meeting of the zoning board of appeals for the village of Tuckahoe for the month of May 2021. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you and good night, Tuckahoe.
Hope to see you live next month, maybe.
Take care.